The money sitting in your bank account is losing value right now. As you watch this, no one voted for it. No one announced it. And almost no one understands how it works. It is called inflation. But that word hides something far more deliberate. Every year, the purchasing power of your savings quietly erodes, like sand slipping through your fingers. In 1971, something changed forever. The US dollar was cut loose from gold. From that moment on, money could be created from nothing. And it was. Banks do not just store your money, they multiply it, lending out far more than they actually hold. This system is called fractional reserve banking, and it is the engine behind modern inflation. For every dollar you deposit, the bank can lend out up to 10 times that amount. That new money enters the economy and immediately begins competing with the money already there. More money chasing the same goods means prices rise. Your dollar buys less. That is not an accident. That is the mechanism, and someone profits from it enormously. The ones who receive the new money first, banks, large corporations, governments, spend it before prices adjust. By the time that money reaches your wallet, prices have already climbed. You bear the cost. Economists have a name for this effect, the Cantillon effect. Most people never hear it. Richard Cantillon described it in 1730. 3 centuries later, the mechanism is still running and still hidden. Central banks set the interest rates. They decide how cheap or expensive money is to create. When rates drop to near zero, borrowing explodes. Money floods the system. Between 2020 and 2022, the US money supply increased by over 40% in just 2 years. Grocery bills surged. Rent exploded. Working families felt it first and hardest. Meanwhile, asset prices soared. Those who owned real estate and stocks became wealthier overnight. Inflation is not a natural disaster. It is a policy choice, with winners and losers decided in advance. The tax you see on your paycheck has a number. The inflation tax has no label, but it is just as real. A dollar saved in 1971 would need to be worth over $7 today just to maintain the same purchasing power. That value did not vanish into thin air. It was transferred quietly, legally, systematically. Banks earn interest on money they created out of nothing. Think about that for a moment. You work for money. They create it. Then they charge you to use it. Governments also benefit. Inflation erodes national debt. The money owed becomes worth less over time. So governments have every incentive to allow modest inflation and almost none to stop it. The target is always framed as 2%. Harmless sounding, nearly invisible. But 2%, compounded over 30 years, destroys more than 45% of your savings value. The system was not broken into. It was built this way from the very beginning. Understanding it is the first act of resistance. Most people never even get that far. The money in your account is shrinking. The question is, what are you going to do about it? They built the cage quietly. The least you can do is learn the shape of the bars.